To really understand why this is called the road trip to happiness, we gotta start at the beginning. Seems like the right place to start. So, my comfortable life was turned upside down by a broken heart, and that's where the call to adventure began. I was living the life in sunny California in a city named Palm Springs. My college roommate invited me to his wedding in New York, so I flew out there, and on the way back, I met a beautiful woman sitting next to me. It was a great wedding. I'm really grateful he invited me, but I was literally the only unmarried person at the whole wedding. And yeah, I was pretty down about it. So sitting next to this really attractive woman was a blessing, to say the least. We hit it off and talked and laughed the whole flight. And when we parted ways at the airport, she gave me her business card to keep in touch. This is where maybe the loneliness from the wedding kind of took the wheel, because as her hand touched mine, there was a spark. And instead of thinking, man, I should really lift up my feet more when I walk so I don't scuff my shoes, my life became a freaking Disney movie, and I was convinced it was the proverbial spark of love. We were texting each other every day, and there were emojis, my friends. Smiley face, winky face, even the heart eyes. Oh yeah. So my lease was up, and I decided it was my destiny to go to her, and I left the warm Californian palm trees for winter blizzards in Rhode Island. Probably the worst trade a person could make. Unfortunately for me, I guess she only wanted someone to talk to, and probably thought it was safe for her to get her flirt on and just pour her heart out, because what are the odds I'll actually move across the country, right? I admit, I came on pretty strong when I got there, because, Disney movie, but she wasn't into it. Okay, let me just pause the story to touch on something really quick, because the way I reacted, I could have gone in two different ways. I could have gone full nice guy and be somebody who just pretends to be nice to women, but it's just a lie and a manipulation, and they're really super pushy and downright mean once they don't get their way. That abrupt 180 of personality shows that they just flat out don't respect women as individuals who get to make their own decisions. It's a pretty disgusting and pathetic way to live. No woman owes a man anything romantically. If they're both feeling it, hey, great, that's the spice of life right there. But if it's not, be respectful, just walk away. It might suck to get rejected, but it's much worse to make someone feel uncomfortable over a decision that's not even yours to make in the first place. Then pressure them and get rejected anyway because it's guaranteed not to work out eventually. That was door number one. And because I have self-respect, I passed right by. I realized I was wrong about how she felt. And when she told me I was putting too much pressure on her and she wasn't feeling it, I said, I never meant to make you feel uncomfortable. I'm sorry if I misread the situation. And then I walked away, respected her decision, and I never reached out to her again. Just moved on with my life. But as that door closed in my face, I really was heartbroken and I was lost. And I realized I had to go out and find my happiness, wherever it might be. It was time to take the road trip that I've always dreamed of. Something so crazy that I've never really just had the motivation to just go for it. But at that moment, I had nothing to lose. It was time to take the trip with no end. There is no way I could afford hotels every day for over a year, though. So my only option was to go full #van life. I took the back seats out of my SUV, I cut my bed with a saw so it fit perfectly in that big open space, and I set out on the greatest adventure of my life. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I'd find. The only thing I knew for sure was my happiness was out there, and I wasn't going to stop until I found it.